for sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Siffle. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see increasing clouds throughout the day, and it will be breezy. We'll see a high around 22. Tonight, skies will clear out. It will be cold. We'll see a low of 3 above. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with light winds. And high near 23. Meteorologist Kyle Butcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most, for all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, best 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big.
To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to bbbslincoln.org.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has added new strength equipment. Save $28 or more when you join today, and you can be one of the first to try it out. We're raising the bar with new benches, and our new hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all of the best-in-class equipment we've always had, with most clubs open 24 hours, so you can work out your way on your time. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 10th. See Home Club for details.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket. Every Saturday morning now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome in Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, brought to you by Tipsy Tina's. Really appreciate them. For the carnitas taco.
I didn't get any.
There's some in back, Strick.
It's unbelievable. There's no tortillas.
Yeah, there are.
You hid them from me.
In the cabinet where the dry food goes.
Oh. Oops.
Same place they've
We
been
love
going.
Tipsy Tina's.
We do. Down on 8th Street in the Haymarket. Check them out. Going to be a while till Nebraska men's basketball has a home game, so get there, scope it out. So ahead of the next Husker home game, you are able to stop by Tipsy Tina's, get yourself fed, and then head over to the arena. This is On the Block. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland, Allie with you for the next couple hours here. 402-464-5685. Same digits as always for you to be a part of the show. Stricky, some breaking news-ish on the Husker front. We'll dive into special teams here in just a minute, but couple offensive line transfers going to be on campus here in the next couple of days for Nebraska. The first one is Alabama offensive lineman Elijah Pritchett. He is in Lincoln today. He is visiting. On3 is predicting that Nebraska will land him. He played all 12 games for Alabama. He started 10 of them at right tackle. He was named the Outland Trophy watch list and was one of the Outland Players of the Week after Alabama's win over Wisconsin. That would be a big one, right? We've seen guys transfer into Nebraska from the SEC before. I think about like a Jacob Hood, right? Big tackle from Georgia that never really panned out, especially on the offensive line there. But a guy that started 10 of the games at right tackle, that's a huge need to fill because you lose a guy that started the most games in program history in Bryce Benhart, SEC experience going up against a bunch of really talented edge rushers. That would be a big one for Nebraska to land. He's on campus here today. The other one then is the more breaking news. Shiaz, I believe is how you say the name, Shiyazh, Pete, is scheduled to visit Nebraska tomorrow. Multi-year starter for New Mexico State. He's visited Kentucky, Iowa State already. Michigan, USC, Vandy, Oklahoma State have also shown interest in him. Over the last 3 years, Strick, Shiaz Pete has played over 1,800 snaps, every single snap at left tackle. What have we been saying for a while? Nebraska needs to land offensive linemen, specifically tackles. This is a huge couple days for the program.
Yeah, definitely. You want somebody that's strong at guarding Dylan Raula's backside. Pause. One of the reasons is right now to me, Dylan doesn't have that sixth sense. And so until that's a development thing, you know, he's good at stepping up. He's good at, you know, he's learning. You can tell he's progressing and knowing how to step up, when to step up, when to pull the trigger to just go ahead and run. And you know, he's going to learn how to slide better as well. But you want somebody that has some experience in the protection of his backside. And until he develops that sixth sense of the knowing of where to slip, how to slip up, and take care of that. On the right side, although he struggled a little bit this year, he still has tremendous upside. 6'6", 320 pounds ish, and like you said, a seasoned starter. He's been there. He's got 2 more years left as well. But on top of that, sometimes what happens, Austin, is there can be some frustrations. Not only are you going against some of the top, there could be frustration that causes you to not. We don't know what that dynamic, that relationship was between him and Milroe. You got to understand that linemen are good at what they do, but they also are people.
They are.
And so at times we don't know if Milroe had said some things, and you know, look, linemen they have to want to defend you and protect you.
Do I buy him steak dinner and rollies, right?
You know what I mean? You want to, we don't know to what extent that he, you know, Milroe may just kind of be a very selfish dude. And that's the difference between why you'll play for a coach, why you'll play for a room or a coordinator or whatever the case may be. Sometimes we just don't know what that is. But to potentially land somebody like that, who 2 people on the tackle spots that have been, now obviously you're going to have to replace Ben Scott, but I like what the guards have been doing. So, you know, again, it's all about gelling. It's all about making sure that these guys come together in unison. And so we still don't know what that dynamic could potentially be like. But the potential of landing those type of guys, I love it. I love it because they're seasoned guys at the edges. So I would love to be able to get, 2 quality guys there.
You mentioned some big dudes, right? Pritchett at 6'6", 306 is what he's listed at, and Pete 6'8", 320 pounds. Huge bookends on the offensive line if Nebraska's able to get them. Both would be ideal. You got to land one of them, Strick. I mean, plain and simple, for me to consider this offseason a success, it's great that you've gotten some skill position guys. It's great that you've gotten, Williams, Nowarni, and some guys that followed Dykel Shores from Kentucky. But you need linemen, right? Not to say the guys behind the starters last year aren't capable, but you just don't know. You don't get very many instant impact offensive line transfers. They're hard to come by, which is why landing a Ben Scott a couple of years ago and getting him back for last year was big. If you ask me right now, I think Justin Evans slides over from left guard to center. He was the backup center, so my guess is he takes over there. So you're looking for a left guard, and then those 2 tackles.
Is Mazuka back?
No, he's gone.
He's gone.
As far as I know, he's departing the program. So he's graduated. So Bryce Benhart, Micah Mazuka, Ben Scott graduate. Teddy Prohaska, Turner Corcoran, and Tyler Kanak all injured last year. Gunnar Gatula played pretty well at left tackle in emergency duty.
Latovsky's still back.
Latovsky at right guard is good to know. So I think you're looking for those 2 tackles. There's going to be competition for those spots. Probably a left guard if I'm correct, and Evans slides over to center. But I'm glad you brought that up about Dylan Raiola, Strick. I wasn't very impressed by his pocket presence this year, right?
Yeah.
And to be fair, that's why Matt Rule said he held off on naming Dylan Raiola the starter to begin the year, right? Because that's what he wanted him to work on. To me, there's a balance, though, Strick, because I think that you can learn how to navigate a pocket. You can learn to speed up that internal clock. Like you had to do that from high school to college basketball, from college basketball to the pros. You talked about working with Kiki Vandeweghe, right, to speed up your shot. You can improve and speed up your internal clock. But some of it's just innate. Some of it's just natural. Having that feel, having it, like you said, sixth sense. You can teach it to a degree, but you kind of have it or you don't. I'm not going to say Dylan Raiola doesn't have it, but the offensive line also wasn't wretched this year. Was it perfect? No, but the next time there's a perfect offensive line, let me know because I'd love to see it. I thought generally the offensive line was good enough for Dylan Raiola, but there were too many moments, Strick, where he either got a little bit jumpy when he had more time or he didn't feel the pressure coming and held on to the ball for a little bit too long.
That's it.
So finding that balance, finding the right moment to get it out quick or hold on to it that extra beat to make a play, a lot of that falls on Dylan Raiola.
Yeah.
But to your point too, you got to have an offensive line that you trust. There's consistency there. You know about how long they're going to give you. You know what their steps look like, their depth, their distance, and they're comfortable with you as well, right? Patrick Mahomes, early in his career, went too deep in his drops, right? That made it tough for his offensive linemen, right? So he made all these amazing plays, but he could have made his life so much easier for himself by taking the standard drop, not drifting backwards. Jalen Milroe, other scrambling quarterbacks, they navigate a pocket differently than a guy like Dylan Raiola does. But even before we get to Dylan Raiola scrambling, to me, the majority of plays for a quarterback are made inside the pocket. Shore that up first, and then we'll worry about all the other stuff on the perimeter.
Yeah, I really do, Austin, believe that Dylan did hold the ball in some of those instances. And it wasn't that guys weren't open, but it was a lack of confidence, I believe, that held him to not pull the trigger when it was either breaking open, he was flowing into a specific zone. There was maybe just a little bit of uncertainty when he maybe what he thought he saw and just didn't, get the right guy. Maybe he pre-snap had an idea of what he thought it was going to be. And that caused him to hold on. I think that early stage of, a couple of games where it was really on him, the mistakes that were made, it wasn't really anybody else. It wasn't that he didn't have time. It was some misreads. And I think that kind of got into his psyche a little bit, that caused him to want it to be more open. And especially when you're talking over the middle of the field and outside of those drags, outside of those screens, those bubble screens and different things like that. I've seen him miss a couple touchdowns where, there was some, maybe an angle or some form of a three wide receiver, and they're running some form of a spacing type of, and you made the wrong read on that. So I think he'll get better, hopefully. And like you said, I think the speed of it changes. When you're in high school, that's one of the things that if you're a good team, it's very rare that not that it doesn't happen. It's rare that you're going to face top tier, top level talent all across the board. Yeah.
Even in a place like Buford, where he played his senior year.
Exactly, right? You might have one edge rusher. You might have a D tackle and an edge guy. So from this side, you're probably going to have to slide a little bit to your right. You're not going to have as much trouble. But when you have teams like your Alabamas or, where that front line is going to be at you in your face pretty quickly, then you've got guys that really can't separate. So you're a little bit hesitant because you're not seeing the separation that you've been used to seeing with the receivers that you had compared to the DBs, maybe one DB out of them. So I've got mismatches here. Well, no, you have to figure out where the mismatch is going to be is a little bit different. So I think that was a learning curve for him that happened early on for him, and hopefully he'll grow out of that.
Mr. Worldwide and Fallbrook on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. How much of the pocket presence do you think was caused by the offensive coordinator and play calling?
I think some of it. And
that's why I'm curious to see moving forward, Strick, because I don't think Dylan Raiola walked into a consistent system for him. I thought he looked a little more comfortable in the bowl game, but he still stepped up into a pocket that was collapsing instead of into the open throwing lane. Sometimes he faded backwards into pressure at least once or twice that I can remember. So, yeah, I think Dana Holgorsen will put Dylan Raiola in more good positions more consistently maybe than Marcus Satterfield did. But at the same time, it's not always going to be perfect. You don't always have a pretty pocket. You don't always have, the necessary separation to make a throw. It's feel. Right? You have to understand where your good matchups are, where your bad matchups are, what the call is, what the defense you think is going to do, because there's that other fine line, Strick, of predicting and using, I guess, context clues, right? Because predetermining your throws never goes well. Never goes well. Sometimes you only have one throw on a screen or, we were looking at this option. Okay, that's different than I've made up my mind before the snap what the defense is going to do. Come hell or high water, I'm making this throw. That's not good.
Yeah.
If you're thinking ahead and you can predict or have a sense of what the defense is going to do, that's what a lot of it is, Strick, is pattern recognition. In the first, second and a half, 2 seconds of a play, might even be too long. What's the pattern? What do I recognize? What do I not recognize? When I recognize the pattern, what do? I make that throw. That's what it is. Does Dylan Raiola get better with that? I think Dana Holgorsen will make his life easier than Marcus Satterfield did to some degree on that front, but he's still just got to find a way to feel that pressure better. I don't know if it's mental. I don't know if it's physical. I don't know what it is, but it's got to get better for next year.
Yeah. The thing about that too is this, like, for example, Shedeur Sanders had a horrible line in a lot of cases, but he had to learn how to make those reads a little bit quicker, how to slide, step, create just a little bit more time for himself. And he had to do that. That's where Raiola is going to have to do. He's going to have to figure out what he has, where there may be some weaknesses, understanding late blitzes, where it may come from, just different things that they're going to throw at him. It's not over. It's going to continue. They're going to continue to throw wrinkles at him, and you're going to have to be able to pick up on that. That's what made Tom Brady so great, man.
Yeah.
Like, Tom Brady was able to sniff out a lot of stuff because guess what? He didn't have great feet. Like, Tom wasn't a step up he was a get the ball out quick. Aaron Rodgers could move and he can maneuver and he can slide and slip and dip and do all those things, and he still had a cannon arm and could make all the throws. But Tom didn't. So Tom had to know where blitzes was coming from, what they were trying to do, any changes, any adjustments. Okay, if they're going to make this adjustments, it's probably going to be here based on what, like, he was playing chess in his mind so that he could understand if this is what I'm saying, these are the two things that they can do based on what they've got. You know what I mean? This linebacker could either come or he's already played that. So if he doesn't see one or the other, then, he's making that adjustment. This is what I love what they're doing with that VR equipment.
Yeah.
With Daniels. Neat. You know what I'm saying? I think getting an opportunity to play those type of scenarios in your mind without having to be in game making those kind of mistakes, or because you don't get those in practice. I don't care what you say.
No,
you're not going to get those types of looks. And it's the same thing in basketball. This is why it was the best thing for the Lakers to finally stop coddling Bronny James and make him get to the G League and get some reps.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see the speed and see the adjustments and see the changes and see the rotations and make plays out of that. It makes a difference.
It absolutely does. So big news for Nebraska. A couple offensive tackle targets on campus. Elijah Pritchett today. And then I'll make sure I get this guy's name right. Shiaz Pete will come in tomorrow for the Huskers. We do want to talk some special teams, Strick. We didn't get to it yesterday. Ed Foley did not have his contract renewed, was not fired by Nebraska. Contract ran out. He didn't sign another one. Interesting legacy for Ed Foley. He's a guy that went around the state. I think that's pretty much every high school in the state, which is a credit to him, a testament to him. That's a pretty cool thing. But plain and simple, the results weren't there on the field. When you look at Nebraska's special teams, if you can fix one aspect of special teams, just one, which aspect needs to be better for the Huskers in 25?
Definitely the return game.
Punt
especially
or
in punt.
kick? Punt?
I think punt. I think punt. I think whoever this coach is, Austin, and I'm going to give you a little time to make sure you can say your point. I think they need to find a young visionary who is able to articulate the vision of what he wants to see, both to the coaching staff, which is Rule, as well as the players, and have a willingness to petition other rooms for a few of its best or second best. Sell that vision of how the special teams should be the best part of the team. Special.
Yeah.
Not like special education, where I've actually worked in special ed, and they don't really look to make those young men and young women. It doesn't seem like they really press them to be the best of who they are. It's like they set them up to more fail, which special teams have become in some sports for some teams. Really set them up to be special. And show the vision to these young men and be able to sell it so that they understand that next level for you, you're probably not going to be Ray Lewis. You're probably not going to be a Sauce Gardner, or, you're not going to probably be
Justin
Saquon
Jefferson.
Barkley. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get there, be special. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know what you're
to
saying.
be able to
I know what
look
you're
them
saying.
in their face and make them and get it. Okay.
For me, Strick, it's the punt game. Brian Buschini was pretty dang good, right? Averaged 44.7 yards per kick. That was the best of his 3 seasons at Nebraska. 44 when he got here in 2022, 40.7 in 2023. And then this last year, like I said, 45 kicks for an average of 44.7 yards. That's good. Great. He accomplished his goal of 43 yards per kick. But you had 6 of them blocked. 6 blocked punts. Are you kidding me? How? How do you allow that many? And you try this scheme, you try that scheme, nothing seemed to help.
Yeah.
Right? Punt return, getting some juice out of that squeeze would be fantastic. It would be, to get some extra hidden yards when the other team is punting. Kick return. It'd be nice to see a kickoff return touchdown again. I think J.D. Spielman still has the last one for the Huskers in terms of actual kickoff return touchdowns. Ramir had that long one against Minnesota to start the second half, first game of Matt Rule's tenure. But I think it was J.D. Spielman against Arkansas State, I want to say, that had the last kickoff return, unless I'm missing one in there. That'd be great to have back, right? A guy that can consistently kick the ball through the end zone, fantastic. And I think field goal kicking stabilized, right? One bad snap toward the end of the year led to the blocked extra point that was returned for the 2 points. But I think John Hull looks like the kicker to beat next year, right? That seems completely solved for me for the moment. So for me, it's got to be stopping the blocked punts. Shanks are going to happen. Okay, you live with it. Just try to prevent them. But Nebraska's punting hasn't necessarily been a weapon. For as good as Buschini was, there wasn't consistent field flipping, right? If you're going to punt from your own, 10, 15, 20 yard line, get that ball to the opponent's 30, right? But if you give up a block and you're on your side of the field already, we've seen that swing too many games for Nebraska. So just eliminate all the blocked punts, make punt, the actual punt team, something that's not a negative for you. That, to me, is what I want to see most consistent for Nebraska in 25.
That part.
You not mad at it?
Not mad at it.
How much do you want to pay a coordinator to make sure that happens? Do you overpay him, or do you have to pay him market
This is why I
rate?
think you want to get a young visionary, someone with some spunk, a young visionary, someone that's going to be able to, that has an aspiration. You know what I'm saying? Like that young person that goes into that CEO's office and you just see something in them. There's something that just, they want to be great. They want to be best. They want to be a coordinator, but they're willing to go there and make that great.
To grind on special teams first, right? That's a great way to pay your dues, whether you're a coach or you're a player. Jason and Jordan, really appreciate you guys with your thoughts. Jordan P says, how isn't Ja'Cory Barney returning some kicks? He did there for a little bit, caught that one on the 1 yard line, went out of bounds, and that was it for him. I think that's a great option for Nebraska as a kick returner. We're going to go to break. I want to thank Nebco for their sponsorship of the show. Check them out at nebcoinc.com. They're looking for mechanics for their constructors brand, as well as CDL drivers for ready mixed concrete. nebcoinc.com. When we get back, we'll keep the party going here during On the Block. Do we need NIL deals regulated in the new age of college athletics? All that and more when we get back.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system.
Follow Austin, Strick, and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and so much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197. League One Volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with Omaha's first serve on January 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Witness history in the making as Love Omaha Volleyball takes on Love Madison in the team's inaugural home match. Be there to watch Olympic teammates Jordan Larson and Lauren Carlini go head-to-head in a battle of the world's best. Visit lovboma.com for tickets starting at $31. Volleyball is the next major league.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to hear their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
I used to smoke. I thought of cigarettes as my best friend.
They were always there for me when I needed a break.
I also thought cigarettes were my best friend, and then they gave me peripheral artery disease.
I smoked and had a stroke. Actually, multiple strokes.
I smoked and have heart disease. Here's my tip. If cigarettes are your friend, you need a better friend.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Wait, pause. I need to know how many games is this again?
100.
100.
100. And even 100.
And Sip. Yeah, bro. Shut up, Sipple. You can't be saying, listen, you know where I go. What's my spot? They tell me down there, they watch the show and they watch Sip and they told me to tell Sip, stop saying 100. He don't say it like we say it. You say it again how you say it.
100?
100. He says 100.
What does that mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Abby with Midwest Bank. Stop by our new location at 70th and Pioneers. Our new full-service branch does it all. From our friendly staff to our easy online banking and mobile app, you get all the technology of a big bank that you need, but you still get the hometown customer service that you want. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Good stuff on the Nebraska football transfer portal last segment. If you got any thoughts on the 2 offensive tackles that Nebraska is hosting, hit us up 402-464-5685. Austin, Strick, Ellie with you for the next 90 minutes here. During On the Block, once again, shout out the people at Nebco for that. Stricky, we've had a lot of NIL conversations on this show, other shows across the country. We're not alone in this. Yahoo Sports sat down with Ohio State, one of the biggest money programs and athletic departments in the country, maybe the largest, just to try to pick Ohio State's brain, including their president, Ted Carter, once and former Nebraska president, Ted Carter, of course. And there's some interesting stuff in there, not anything overly groundbreaking. I didn't think a lot of it sounded like what Kirby Hocutt said at Texas Tech not that long ago with the distribution of revenue, how it's going to look. A lot going to the 2 biggest revenue programs in football and men's basketball on down the line. Sounds like Ohio State will offer 90 scholarships, which is up from 85, but not the whole full 105-player roster allotment that we think is coming. But the most interesting part of this article to me, Strick, wasn't about the roster size, wasn't about the revenue sharing distribution. It was when Yahoo Sports was talking to Ohio State about money for athletes above and beyond the $20.5 million in revenue sharing. Something we've talked about a little bit because schools won't be limited. Well, I guess they will be limited to sharing just that $20.5 million with their athletes. But athletes can still earn more money on top of that, right? Just like in the pros, where marketing and sponsorship deals don't count against the salary cap, which they shouldn't because it's not the team's money. Yahoo Sports was talking to Ohio State about this because there's a lot of that going on at Ohio State. These outside deals outside the school through the collective, whatever it is. And there are a few paragraphs here from this article at Yahoo Sports that I think are worth diving into. So I'll read these. I'll set you up to talk about them here. So from Yahoo Sports, the answer, though not easy, is that athletes land true endorsement and commercial deals from outside the school with third-party brands and companies. Third-party deals do not count against the school salary cap. However, in an effort to limit booster involvement, the settlement orders all third-party deals of $600 or more from a school-affiliated booster or collections of them to gain approval from a new NIL clearinghouse. The clearinghouse, operated by Deloitte, is charged with verifying the authenticity of these deals using fair market value rates, poised to eliminate phony booster-backed compensation agreements so prevalent in the industry over the previous 3 years. While many question the legality of this, Power League executives holding authority over many settlement-related decisions contends that the settlement grants them protections to enforce longstanding NCAA rules against booster payments. In fact, they are creating a separate enforcement entity, not the NCAA, to police the cap and levy penalties on those attempting to manipulate it, such as player ineligibility and school fines. What do you think?
Okay. So there was a quote by Walker Jones, who is the head of Ole Miss's collective, and he's the leading member of the collective association. This is what he says. He says there's going to be a new frontier. This is the thing that's happened all along the lines. We know that deals were being cut under the table, bags were being dropped at people's houses, cars were showing up at moms and aunties and so forth and so on. We know that was the landscape, and so it was the one who did it sneakier or better. And I always think the ones that's on the fringe or the ones that they really wanted to knock off because, wait a minute, you're doing it a little bit too many. Let's put the fear of God in some of these other programs. So let's do it and put the death penalty. You had that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's going to be the new frontier of the above the cap supplemental NIL. He says that's the new battlefield. The question is, can it really be regulated? That's the question. All right. So to be honest, Austin, I actually don't really think there's an answer. But I'm going to throw this out because although there may not be a full answer to it, my question then turns to who has the true power? Is it the structure that the NCAA was trying to do? I thought they should have stepped into this void maybe a year or two ago and to really try to figure this thing out so that they can regain some of their, their luster. Yeah, their bark.
Or their bite, I guess.
Their bite.
They got the bark.
Or is it going to be Deloitte? Okay, that's going to be the one question. Who's gonna have that power? Then the question then becomes, who has more of an opportunity to be corrupted? I think there's corruption in a lot of fields and a lot of areas. There's always ways to try to go to the tip of the edge of figuring out how far can you take it. But who has, not that they're going to be corrupted, but who has the potential to be a little bit more corrupted? That's a question I would have. And with this new system, is this over-the-top new battlefield that was spoken of by Walker Jones, is that over-the-top method going to send us back to big bucks, no whammies type of method?
Yeah.
That the big boys and the blue bloods have the ability to play in that most others don't. So I understand what they're trying to do and create this parity and this ability to make things equal in all the playing field. But I also see that there's holes and weaknesses that I still think that can be exploited. And I really don't know if it can be regulated. I think it can, but how? That's going to be the thing. How broad is it? How narrow is it? How gray is it? These are the questions that need to be asked. And I think that's why I can't really answer it because I don't have a format by which to really look and assess it right now.
So we can look forward. We can make a few predictions and some hypotheticals here. First of all, Ellie, apologies. We didn't give you a trigger warning on this. We know this sets you off. So if you need to curl into a ball in the corner, that's okay. We get it. We'll let you know.
We're talking about NIL for a really long time. I'm already just fuming over here, but keep talking. It's fine. Whatever.
You're on this show. You have to deal with it. So
I am dealing with it. I
You're
haven't
doing
said anything
great.
until now, until you
stay strong.
me.
Stay strong. Just know, I apologize for the lack of trigger warning.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. To answer Stricky's question, who has the true power here? That's a great question. Who knows, right? Because here's the thing. The article even said this enforcement structure was outside of the NCAA.
Right.
Because college football wants to continue to break away from the NCAA. So the NCAA doesn't seem like it has any power here. So it tells me
it's a business now. They've created this model, unfortunately, and this is why this has come. Go ahead.
They have. What it tells me is that these university presidents and chancellors and maybe even some athletic directors have a lot of the power here. Deloitte, to me, is just kind of the middleman, right? They have the opportunity to make some major bank off of this, right? Their services are not going to come cheap when it comes to this. My takeaway from this, though, is, are the players hiring Deloitte to make sure they get fair market value? No. Who's hiring Deloitte to do this? It's the collectives. It's the boosters. It's the presidents and chancellors, right? Looking for ways, in my opinion, I think Deloitte is pretty easily corruptible here because they're being hired by the chancellors and the presidents.
Great answer.
To potentially depress some of the value, keep some of the money down. That's how I think this is going to go. But I also think it's just a dumb idea to hire them, Strick. I completely understand why from the upper level of athletics management, they would want to do this. But this seems like another decision they won't be able to get away with. And after a year and a half, 2 years of being sued to basically no end, I don't understand why they thought this would be a good idea. Because think about it in pro sports. Any endorsement deals, are they regulated? Are they cleared by a board? It's up to the player, the player's agent, the player's advisors to decide whether or not they want to take it. NBA doesn't care for the most part, right? I mean, yeah, sure. If you do, I'm not even going to throw out all the bad examples. There are plenty of bad things you can do. But the NBA doesn't say you can do this, you can't do this. It trusts its players to make a good decision and steps in at the very end if a bad decision is being made. NFL, same way. If you're a superstar, you're probably getting a deal with a big endorsement sponsor that's already with the league or has been with the league for a while. If you're a smaller player, it's probably harmless. Same for Major League Baseball. I'm sure it's the same for the NHL and soccer across the world. Those deals are not regulated. Why do we think we can regulate the deal, the terms of it, the amount of money behind it, just because these kids are in college? If these companies want to pay 6 figures to a college athlete to endorse their product, more power to them. If a college athlete comes up with a sponsor that you hadn't thought of before, more power to them. Let them get their money. But again, this goes back to the money behind it. As soon as it looks like you are getting in the way of these athletes making their money, they will sue you over it for limiting their earning potential. It is a terrible, no good, horrible idea to try to bring a company in to say, we think you can make this much. We think you can make that much. Yeah. That's an opinion. But as soon as you say you can only take this much or you're in trouble, that is where Deloitte and the presidents, chancellors, whoever are going to get sued again. And they must really like it.
Yeah, this is, I remember shortly after retirement, one of the things that I saw is that Deloitte and organizations like that, also like there were organizations like Stricker, which was like a pharmaceutical type deal. They were hiring athletes. And this is also part of the system that I could see too, right? You could see that they could be recruiting athletes, which then could open the door by way of biases that you're not really doing your job, because I guarantee you they're going to look in the college ranks and they're going to want to probably bring former athletes. If they're connected to a school or multiple schools, it's very possible that there could be some oversight, overlook. And then when I say oversight, not oversight in the good, but oversight in the bad. That's possible. But I also can see how this could lead to places like Texas being very big, because now you have Tesla there. You have Elon Musk, and if they're able to tap into that, now you're getting Teslas for some of your players. And so certain places are going to benefit, because if they're going to connect them to those type of businesses and those type of entities, who's local, who's connected, who's tied. So your Oregons are going to continue to, it's still going to be beneficial for them to be able to tap in, because all you got to do is run it through Nike. You don't have to necessarily run it through, you just run it through Nike. And it'd be other ways. So they're going to find ways to still usurp the system. And this is, this is where I think they can't curtail it by doing it the way that you just spoke about. I think they're going to have to figure out another way and just allow it to be, just turn it in. Gino Ariama basically said, let's be honest. You're either going to keep it as academic and what do we call it?
Student athletes.
Mm-hmm. Or you're going to turn it into minor pros.
Yeah.
You look, don't play. You can't play middle. You can't play gray area in this. Make it what it is and work within the system of what it is. Keep trying to call it one thing and then, dibble and dabble on the other side of it. It just doesn't work that way. Call it what it is and structure it to fit that mold.
Let's go to the text line here before we play the shootout with Strick coming up in a couple minutes. Hunter says, what if all payments must come through the NCAA and universities receive the money then to give to the athletes to pay it out? Then the NCAA and the universities know. It's not the NCAA's or the university's business. That's the entire point of this, is that it's not about the universities and the NCAA knowing necessarily, right? Think about the very beginning of NIL. It was supposed to be separate. The coaches and the athletic directors weren't supposed to know, right? Couldn't have those conversations, couldn't direct those conversations, any of that. I could also see
got fired and got penalized because of that, just for dropping them off for freaking meetings,
for a sandwich, all that stuff. There's a part of me, Strick, that continues to believe the NCAA wants no part of this, right? They are waiting for college football to figure its crap out and get as separate as possible because the NCAA is tired of the headache and they know they can't handle it. But I do see a world in which the NCAA says, Hunter's idea is an interesting one. If all the payments have to go through us, guess what? We can take a 2% processing fee. It's another $1 billion a year for us. That goes a long way. I don't think players would go for it, which is why I think that the best move for players, whether it's by sport or just in general, you need someone at the bargaining table for you. Get a union, get a collective bargaining agreement in place so you can't continue to be exploited like this, right? I don't think that they should require that, but it seems like that's the way it's heading. And again, the NCAA doesn't need to be involved. The universities don't need to be involved. What the players are making in sponsorships and endorsement should be none of their business. Why do they have to care? They only care because they pretended to care for so long because they can get the money. They can reap the benefits from it. Now that's the players, they're trying to find ways to tap in and get a little bit of that for themselves, but they don't need to. There are some areas we need more oversight. There's plenty of areas we need less oversight.
Great point, man. Unfortunately, we gotta get out of here and get some of these. You got another thing?
Let's just throw these out from the text line real quick. Old Dad 34. Will this NIL lead to the Blue Bloods paying for the smaller schools to try and catch up like the major leagues do? No, we're not going to have league-wide revenue sharing to that degree, right? We already do, right? All these schools get the same level of payout from the TV contracts. So no, we're not going to see each team's revenue for the year piled in and then redistributed back out evenly like we see in the NFL or especially in Major League Baseball is the one. WIB says all the old heads brought this on themselves. Now they're trying to step in. That's what it is. They've had control for so long. They don't like losing control. It is only human. It's only natural. It's only normal. I get it. But at this point, it's gone. It's out of your control. Get creative. You had 50 years, 75 years, 100 years to figure this crap out. You didn't do it. Too bad, so sad. Sorry it's happening to you and not someone before you. But hey, guess what? That's where we're at. Speaking of where we're at, Stricken time. 4 questions for Strick, 4 questions for you. We play the shootout to wrap up hour ones on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Call now, 402-464-5685. That's our Honda of Lincoln hotline. We'll play the shootout to wrap up hour one of On the Block right after this.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Abby with Midwest Bank. Stop by our new location at 70th and Pioneers. Our new full-service branch does it all. From our friendly staff to our easy online banking and mobile app, you get all the technology of a big bank that you need, but you still get the hometown customer service that you want. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see increasing clouds throughout the day, and it will be breezy. We'll see a high around 22. Tonight, skies will clear out. It will be cold. We'll see a low of 3 above. Tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with light winds, and high near 23. Meteorologist reflected from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and so much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Early break.
I need to know what the definition of a chandelier is.
Chandelier?
Yeah.
Is this the same too?
I think so.
When I think chandelier, I think like an old-timey big light that's fancy, that's the bedazzled, basically. It's got fancy looking.
Yeah.
It's not jewelry, but it's got fancy elements to it.
I know what you mean.
That's a regular nice light
hanging from the field.
Right.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most, for all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
League One Volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with Omaha's first serve on January 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Witness history in the making as Love Omaha Volleyball takes on Love Madison in the team's inaugural home match. Be there to watch Olympic teammates Jordan Larson and Lauren Carlini go head-to-head in a battle of the world's best. Visit lovboma.com for tickets starting at $31. Volleyball is the next major league.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
We went all break without a caller, but don't worry, Strickland, we got one for you.
No.
Yep. We'll get one here. Turn it off, Ellie. Make sure we got him. We had to get the right name from Rico here real quick. So
no.
First one of the year, Stricky.
No, this is
you're starting
it's
over
a
from
forfeit,
scratch.
bro.
No,
It's a forfeit.
No, it's not.
First
No,
win,
it's not.
forfeit.
First shootout of the year. Who we got? We got Tater. Tater, what's going on, man?
No.
Hey, what's up, man? Tricky, let's go.
Oh, I don't want to have to do it to the Tater pause.
Tater, how you been, man?
I've been pretty good. The year's been good.
Happy New Year,
So-
Tater. We glad to
Yeah,
hear
same
from
to
you,
you.
my friend. I don't know. I might even be generous today because I love the Tater. He's a good guy.
All right, Tater, we know you know the rules, so hold on the line. We'll get Stricky his questions, then we'll get to you. Sound good?
Yep.
All right. Ellie, let's turn that volume down there on number 1 for me, please. Don't blow my eardrums out. All right. Stricky, your round of the shootout. First round of 2025 starts here in 3, 2, and 1. They score the most points per game in Big Ten men's basketball, Illinois or Iowa?
Illinois.
Iowa. They shoot the best free throw percentage in Big Ten men's basketball, Wisconsin or Michigan State?
Wisconsin.
Yep. They record the most steals per game in the Big Ten, Penn State or Oregon?
Penn State.
It is Penn State, and he's scoring the most points per game in the Big Ten.
Dylan Harper.
Count it. Count it. Dylan Harper leading the league in scoring as of the time of the game. All right, Tater.
I should have got that other one. I knew the answer. Kobe.
But you missed it.
That's some bull
But
jump.
you ain't get it.
Oh, man.
Tater.
Should have been a perfection.
You need a big round, my friend. 4 to tie, a perfect round to win. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. They allow the fewest points per game in the Big Ten, UCLA or Maryland?
UCLA.
Yep, they shoot the best three-point percentage in the Big Ten, Northwestern or Purdue?
Northwestern.
It's Purdue. They block the most shots per game in the Big Ten, Minnesota or Michigan?
Say that one more time.
They block the most shots per game in the Big Ten, Minnesota or Michigan?
Michigan.
It's Minnesota, and he's recording the most assists per game in the Big Ten.
One more time. Sorry, I started here.
Most assists per game in the Big Ten.
I'll let him get it.
Oh. Yeah. I'm just going to say it. I don't know it. Bryce Williams. Let's go.
Bryce Williams is a decent guess, but the answer is Braden Smith, point guard from Purdue. Tater, unfortunately, you give us Stricky the win to start the year off, but still, we appreciate you. Thanks for playing. Good to hear from you, man.
My theme music.
Got his theme music, Ellie?
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
Mama, there goes that man.
Yeah!
That's one and only year, Stricky.
Kobe.
I think we got to put it up on the board somewhere. We got to find room for shootout. That's what we got to do.
I need to do a bachata.
A patata?
A
Or a
bachata.
papa frita?
Bachata.
You beat the Tater?
I beat the Tater. I didn't. I love the Tater though. I didn't want to have to,
do it to him.
Do it to him. Pause.
But you did it to him.
Yeah. Pause.
So we will play the tiebreaker question. Ellie, pick a number between 1 and 10 for me, if you would, please.
8.
8.
Ooh.
8. Texter number 8 with the right answer, over, under, or push on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line, 402-464-5685, will win the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Stricky, here's the question for you. How many points per game is Bryce Williams scoring entering tonight's game for Nebraska against Iowa?
17.8.
Stricky says 17.8.
Pause. Nope. 18.8.
Which one is it?
Pause.
Which one are you going with? Are you going with the third answer? Come on. This is your final answer. You'll not get another pause. This is your final answer.
18.8.
18.8. That's
and you
Stricky's
see that?
answer.
I went with your 8s.
He did. Texter number 8, 402-464-5685. Over, under, or push Strick's answer. We'll go to break. We'll give you the answer. We'll announce the winner. And then we'll get into Nebraska men's basketball. Interesting game on the road against the Dirty Hawkeyes. Coming up later tonight. We'll have post-game coverage here right after the game. So stay tuned for that. Hour 2 of On the Block brought to you by Nebco momentarily.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400.
League One Volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with Omaha's first serve on January 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Witness history in the making as Love Omaha Volleyball takes on Love Madison in the team's inaugural home match. Be there to watch Olympic teammates Jordan Larson and Lauren Carlini go head-to-head in a battle of the world's best. Visit lovboma.com for tickets starting at $31. Volleyball is the next major league.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and we wanted to give a special shout out to all of our great customers, thanking you all for a record-setting year in 2024. Now let's get the new year rolling with some big savings. Right now at Cobble, we have some of the biggest discounts in the area with over $12,000 off list price or 0% APR on select new models. So stop on in the dealership or hit us up online at cobblecars.com to get true low country overhead in action. $12,000 off list or 0% APR right now at Cobble. So please stop on in or visit us at cobblecars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food, fuel, shelter, clothing, transportation, and even funeral and medical expenses. If you're a veteran facing a financial emergency, apply for Nebraska Veterans Aid through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for 3. And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome back, hour 2 of On the Block, brought to you by the great people at Nebco. We just got done playing the shootout with Strick. Champ is in the building. First win of 2025 in the books. How you feeling, Champ? First game interview.
Yeah, I feel
Take us through your
lovely.
performance.
I feel like there's some good H2O.
I'm missing the reference here.
You've never seen
What movie was that? I'm missing the reference here.
That was The Water Boy.
Oh, I've seen Waterboy, but I was not placing that.
It was like some good H2O.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like some good Culligan.
H2O.
Some good Culligan. Shout out to Culligan, man.
Yeah. We still do have the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings to give away. We will award the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings to texter 3934 on our Starter Human Jewelers text line. He said, push. Stricky nailed it. Stricky is on the ball. Bryce Williams of Nebraska men's basketball averaging 18.8 points per game this year. Stricky.
I wish you could see how surprised I was. I had no clue.
Did you Google them? Did you Google them?
You saw how surprised I was.
Did you Google them?
No, I did not.
Did you Google them before the show?
No, I did not.
Did you Google them?
No, I did
Doing
not.
Nebraska Iowa prep? Did you Google them?
No, I did not.
Did you Google the text line?
Negative. I did not. Ellie, tell the truth. How when I did afterwards look it up, how surprised was I? Like, you can tell a fake surprise But
Very
how
surprised.
authentic was that?
Very surprised. He went with the 8. I said 8. He went with 8.
Yeah.
18.8.
I mean, I had a vibe going with Ellie over there. Me and Ellie was connected, and you were left out. Yeah.
How was I left out? I'm the one that wrote the question.
Yeah, you were left out. We just went around you this time because you always be trying to cheat, Stricky. You know how you do.
Capalicious. Cap. Not true. Fake news. False.
Fallacies.
Disagree. Fallacies.
It wasn't like good.
It was not. Okay. So yeah, Bryce Williams averaging 18.8 points.
I was
per game.
surprised. I did not.
That's pretty good. 4th in the conference right now.
I did not think that some reason I felt like you were trying to run game on me, and I just kind of upped it a little bit, and that's what I went to because Ellie was on the 8s.
Nebraska's next home opponent features the number 1 and number 3 scores in the Big Ten. Stricky, Dylan Harper, like you said, leading the Big Ten in scoring 21 points per game and 33 minutes per game on 52, 37, 75 splits, which is really good for those of you who don't know. Ace Bailey, 3rd in the conference at 19 points per game, 46, 34, 55 shooting splits. How about number 2, though, from Northwestern, Nick Martinelli?
That's your boy.
He's a goofy looking dude that knows how to stroke it.
Pause. Yeah, yeah. He be like Clarence Carter.
He do be.
Yeah, he'd be like Clarence Carter. I mean, if you know, you know. You can go look it up on Apple Music, and you can find Clarence Carter there, and you'll understand what I'm saying. But yeah, you could see flashes of it. Now it's his time to shine, and he's getting it done. What is their record in the Big Ten this year?
Nebraska's?
No, Northwestern.
Northwestern's
How are they doing
record
this
in
year
the
after
Big
losing
10.
2 of their, the guard combination?
Northwestern right now is 10-5 overall. They have lost to Iowa by 1 in Carver Hawkeye, beat Illinois by 4 at Welsh Ryan, and then have lost on the road to Penn State and on the road to Purdue.
Okay.
So 1-3 in Big Ten.
Gotcha.
Let's talk about that, Stricky. Nebraska goes on the road for the 2nd time in Big Ten play. First time this year did not go so well for Nebraska at the Breslin Center against Michigan State. Strick, this Nebraska-Iowa game really intrigues me because it's such a similar spot to Nebraska going to Iowa as it was last year. Think about last year, Strick. You have Nebraska on a cold Tuesday night in early January, welcoming number 1 Purdue, Zach Edey, Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer, the whole gang, to Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln. They get their first home win over an AP number 1 team since the 80s. In 42 years, I believe it was. Huskers take down number 1 Purdue. And then that Friday, 2 days off, Wednesday, Thursday, they turn around, they head out to Iowa and basically no-show. A 94-76 win for the Hawkeyes that really wasn't as close as that seemed. It was a 5-point game at the break before Iowa scores 53 points in the second half to pull away in that one. Iowa put up an offensive rating of 133.5 in the game, which is absolutely ridiculous. But here we go. Win over a ranked opponent, 2 days off, go to Iowa. Guess what Nebraska has now? Game Saturday against number 15 UCLA. Saturday or Sunday, Monday, off from game action. Today's Tuesday. They're on the road in Iowa City, taking on Iowa, a team, Stricky, that is coming off of giving up 116 points to Wisconsin. Iowa's never played defense on the basketball court under Fran McCaffery. That was one of the worst, if not the worst, performances ever for that team. Stricky, this is such a big spot for Nebraska. Iowa's favored. I don't think Nebraska cares, nor should they. But this is another chance to see some growth in the program. How do you handle a big, important win at home when you go to arguably your biggest rival in the conference? They have to handle it better than they did last year.
Well, that's the thing. That's one issue. But the thing about that is most of the guys that were on that team are not here. But the ones that were, they have to memory hole. But you also have to memory hole what transpired on the last time you hit the road at Michigan State. You have to go out there knowing and just taking whatever fodder that you can get from this being a rivalry. They're probably not going to fly. They'll probably get on a bus and take a ride out there. Whatever you have to do on that bus ride to get yourself prepared and your mind put in place. This is the type of game that a team that's kind of down, they're 1-2 in conference. This is where you look at this as an opportunity. And the opportunity is an understanding of the big picture and that you need to learn how to go on the road, be able to get wins like this, and teams that are struggling at this time, teams that have had, what just transpired to them, you want to keep that in their memory.
Yeah.
So you want to go out early and often and be able to just beat the brakes off of them in every way. Hustle points, transition points, rebounding, making shots. You just want to just give them that feeling of doubt early. You don't want them to get any confidence. Don't give them any good looks. Your defense wants to be crisp. Your rotations want to be really good as well. So that way, when they look up and that score, they're up 12 or they're down 12, by the first or 2 timeouts or whatever the case may be, and you just continue to build on that. So for me, it's got to be a memory hole. But here's the thing: the Hawkeyes are 8-1 at home.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you, they play very well at home.
Mm-hmm.
So teams that come in there, look, they don't think it's going to be an easy win. Just like on the movie, what was it? With Eddie Murphy, Harlem Nights. There's a movie called Harlem Nights. Eddie Murphy in that group. There was a woman by the name of Della Reed. She took care of all the tricks. If you know what I'm talking about. She took care of all the tricks, and in the tricks or treats, they had a little disagreement about the moolah, the money. And, Eddie Murphy, his name was Quick. And Eddie Murphy basically told her, the money, how come the money always coming up light with all the tricks? And she said, man, you better watch your tongue, young buck, how you talking to me, and he basically says, I'm going to come over there, I'm going to shoot you in your pinky toe. And he told her, you come over here, you going to limp back. That's what they basically telling everybody. You think we down, you going to come over here, you going to limp back. They averaging almost 90 points a game.
Best in the Big Ten offensively. Mm-hmm.
Right? So don't think it's an easy win. Don't think it's just you're going to come over there and just, do what you want to do over here. That's going to be a tough one. And that's the mentality that they got to have. The good thing about Nebraska is that they're 9-2 against teams that are that are over 500. That's a pretty good record.
That's solid. Mm-hmm.
Right? So there's some good things there, but you want to continue to get separation from that 500 number in conference.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an opportunity. We don't know what that quad is going to look like when, but you want to put yourself in a position that if they make a run, it ends up being a good high-level quad 1 or even a quad 2 win for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it always puts you in a good position for the tournament runs. Those are the type of games that's going to help you to get better from where you were as far as coming out of that bottom tier, getting into that mid tier.
Mm-hmm.
Your aspirations is to get up into that top tier. This is another opportunity to do that.
It really is, because Iowa's a team that Strick hasn't scored fewer than 69 points all year. That was in their loss to Utah State. Their next low is 76. They've scored 80 points in every other game this year, including putting up 80 on number 3 Iowa State. That has maybe the best defense in the country this year. This is a Hawkeyes team that has pretty good players. I don't love the talent on their team. It's not my favorite roster, but it's a system with guys that play their job, right? Think about Iowa defense, right? Iowa football's defense has legitimate NFL caliber dudes on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's different to me than this Iowa basketball team, which will not send any players to the NFL, but also there's not surefire NBA guys. Peyton Sandfort tested the NBA draft waters. I'm not sure of his role in the NBA. Dude does not play defense, right? He's a bench shooter. Think Kyle Korver, Greg McDermott. Maybe that's his ceiling, right? Owen Freeman, really good kind of interior guy, doesn't have much stretch potential and plays even less defense than Luka Garza does somehow.
Right.
So that's not great. Josh Dix at the point, Drew Thelwell, Brock Harding are fine. Iowa spreads the floor. They shoot it really well for the year. Stricky, they're shooting 38% from 3 on 27 3-point attempts per game. And that's where we've seen this matchup between Nebraska and Iowa, whether it's in Lincoln or in Iowa City. Nebraska's strategy of pack the paint and dare teams to shoot it. Iowa says the same thing that Creighton does. Okay, thank you very much. We will.
That's where they're going to be prepared for that. You're right. You're right.
Iowa is used to this. And
they're
Iowa
used to it.
has generally shot it pretty well in its building, especially against Nebraska. Strick. Nebraska's gone to Iowa City 12 times since it's joined the Big Ten. How many times do you think Nebraska's won in Iowa City? out of 12 trips.
Two.
They won the very first time they went there, January of 2012. Huskers won at 79-73. And then the weird game in 2023 in early March, 81-77. I still don't know how Nebraska pulled that win out, but they found a way to do it. Last year, though, again, 94-76. Iowa blows the roof off of Carver Hawkeye. This is not a building that has been kind to Nebraska. Even if I would tell you that I take Nebraska's talent over Iowa's every time, just player for player up and down the roster, I generally like Nebraska's rosters over Iowa's. Iowa just at home hasn't really missed against Nebraska shooting the ball. And early in the year, I would have said, yeah, maybe Nebraska switches something up. Maybe they try something a little different defensively. But Strick, I think we know who Nebraska is, what Nebraska wants to do on the defensive side of the ball. And that's why, yeah, sure, Iowa maybe gets a little bit of a point boost from being at home for the Vegas spread. Even if their record's not as good as Nebraska, their talent's not as good as Nebraska, this is a coin flip game to me. And my question for you in making it a coin flip game, I think back to your teams at Nebraska, right? I know you pride yourself on defense, but we also know your Nebraska team, Strick, they ran. Y'all put up points. Y'all put up numbers offensively. Maybe not the same way that I was doing it right now.
Yeah.
But you like to run. You like to put up a lot of points under Coach Nee. This is a styles make fight sort of game, right? Nebraska slow it down. Nebraska turned it into a rock fight. You would think that favors the Huskers, but if it gets into the open court, yeah, we've seen Nebraska score a little bit, but that's definitely where Iowa is more comfortable. How does Nebraska exert its will on the game, on the road? How does Nebraska turn this into a Nebraska style of game instead of getting caught up and trying to play Iowa style?
Well, it's going to definitely be fundamentals. And look, it's going to be by way of execution. It's going to be fundamentals. It's going to be definitely multi-effort moves, meaning whether it's on the defensive side, you just don't want them to get good looks. They shoot the ball very well in Carver Hawkeye Arena. So you don't want them to just be very comfortable. You don't want them to feel good. You want them to struggle a little bit. You want to do all of the same things similar to what you did. Don't turn the ball over, giving them easy transition opportunities. You want to make sure that you're solid in your rebound game, get those rebounds, and then go down and execute. I think you push for opportunity. If it doesn't work, you want to punish this team. You want to make them defend. You don't want to take bad shots because we know that at times Nebraska can get just lackadaisical and comfortable and just, tossing up shots really early. Okay, if you want to do heat checks with a Sejan when he comes in, you maybe get a couple of them. And if you're off, my boy, then let's settle in and get some stuff. But if you're hitting, okay, then, we're going to roll with you. But I really do believe that this is not necessarily, just multiple pass. I love it when their assist numbers are in that 14 to 16 range. That means that they're really doing a good job distributing. I want to see them continue to attack. Don't settle. Be on attack. This is why I say push for opportunities, not there. Execute for the opportunities, getting deep paint touches, and then just being able to distribute the ball without turning it over, giving them, giving Iowa just a lifeline, because they really don't want to play defense.
They don't really want to play defense, but here's the other thing, Strick. They don't really foul either, right? They are essentially the turnstile right now, subway fare optional. Iowa only puts opponents at the free throw line 14 times a game.
Which Nebraska's been banking on.
Nebraska's been so good at getting to the free throw line. And again, this can go one of two ways. Either this plays out to where Iowa doesn't put Nebraska at the free throw line, and maybe that means Nebraska is finishing better at the rim or hitting more jump shots than normal. Okay, you take that. Or if you're Nebraska, Strick, I really think the key to this Iowa team is Owen Freeman. Yeah, Peyton Sandford is the best player. He gets the headlines, but I think that the pick and pop game with him and Freeman, the pick and roll game, what Freeman's able to do on that short roll as well. If Nebraska can use, whether it's Mia or Morgan or Boyukdengel inside to get a couple early fouls on Freeman, Iowa's not a big team. Iowa doesn't have a lot of depth in the front court. Freeman's the one of two guys on the roster that's taller than 6'10". The other one is junior Riley Mulvey at 6'11". Otherwise, you have Sandford at 6'7", but he's a perimeter guy. He's not an interior guy. You have Price Sandford, like his brother, 6'6", perimeter guy. Laji Dembele out of New Jersey, and Seydou Traore, both a couple of sophomores, 6'7" and 6'8", out of that Northeast corridor there. But again, they're not traditional power forwards necessarily. They're more guys on the wing.
Right.
Iowa's not big. Iowa's not huge. Nebraska's advantage might be go inside early, get some easy buckets. But then, Strick, I think the key to this game and for pretty much every Nebraska game for the end of time, rebounding, but I think guard rebounding, right? What happens when teams shoot a lot of threes, Strick? Where do those rebounds usually go?
Long, weak side.
Guards can't get lazy.
Complacent. Right. Facts.
Go get it.
Yeah.
Go get it. Don't let Iowa get some cheap ones just because you stood around or you started leaking out. We get it. You want to run and they want to run. But Strick, we've seen Iowa take advantage of that. Nebraska guards standing around. And then not only are they good on first opportunities, but if they miss, the most efficient shot in basketball outside of a dunk is that kick out three off an offensive rebound.
Right.
Iowa's going to thrive there if Nebraska's guards get lazy and stand around.
Agreed. There's nothing. And here's the thing. In that, like, the difference between what they saw in UCLA is very good defensively. You're not going to really get that from Iowa, but you're going to get the similarity is going to be they're not very big in the front court.
Yeah.
But they shoot the ball way better than UCLA does. So that's just the flip. But that's an understanding of, that's why I said a lot of the game plan is very similar in some ways to what you had at UCLA, outside of the fact that you really want your effort, your extra effort is going to have to be there because they know you and they're going to be prepared for you. And they're going to use that skip pass effectively. And that's where you want to just make sure your extra efforts are there and your communication's got to be on par.
Let's say this does turn into an Iowa style of game and it's a game played in the 80s. Do you feel more confident with this Nebraska team keeping up compared to last year's team, or do you like last year's team on the offensive end better than this year's team?
Wow. I think last year's team was more geared for they understood who they were. Everybody knew where their strengths and their capabilities were, right? You knew Alec was a dunker type dude. You know, he was going to be in dunker position. You knew you're going to get a handler out of your point forward and Rick Mass. You knew that Casey was going to be roaming and running and, you know, creating opportunities. You kind of understood that. This team, if they're having to execute, they struggle late clock. Because
but some of that will be mitigated against a worse defense, you would think.
Right. And that's where their struggles are. So that's where we're just going to have to see, are they going to continue to thrive and get better in that area? Because right now, that's where they struggle.
Last year for Iowa against Nebraska, Peyton Sanford and Josh Dix combined to go 10 of 19 from three. Iowa as a team 15 of 35 from long range against the Huskers. Leading scorer for Nebraska last year was Rink Mast. He was 6 of 9 overall, 5 of 7 from two. Stricky, Nebraska shot 70% from two last year, 26 out of 37, but just 4 of 26 from long range. Keisei Tominaga struggled, 1 of 5. Bryce Williams, 0 of 6 from long range last year. Jawan Gary, 0 of 3. Sam Hoiberg, 0 for 2 for guys that played in this game last year. Sometimes it's as simple as it's a make or miss game. You know, if Iowa misses, Nebraska's in a good spot. If Nebraska misses, Iowa probably runs away with one. But like you said, this is a big opportunity for Nebraska starting a 2-game road stretch. If you can get to 3-1 in the Big Ten heading into an arena you've never won in, you feel pretty good about where the Huskers are at, I would say, in the Big Ten Conference right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
We'll monitor it. That is a tip-off tonight. I believe 7 o'clock is the tip-off for the Huskers and the Hawkeyes. Post-game coverage right here immediately following the game. Let's go to break. When we get back, we will talk some NFL head coach vacancies. Who's let their coach go? Maybe some surprise retentions as well. This is On the Block, brought to you by Nebco. Strick, Austin, Ellie. We'll be back in a moment.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
League One Volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with Omaha's first serve on January 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Witness history in the making as Love Omaha Volleyball takes on Love Madison in the team's inaugural home match. Be there to watch Olympic teammates Jordan Larson and Lauren Carlini go head-to-head in a battle of the world's best. Visit LOVBOMA.com for tickets starting at $31. Volleyball is the next major league.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
We'll see a few flurries possible tonight. Very cold again with the low dropping down to around 3. But with sunshine, we try to improve here Wednesday. We'll reach up to a high of around 25. And as we head into our Wednesday night, we'll see an increase in cloud cover with a low down to 14. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Having diabetes doesn't have to ruin your new year. Join a Nebraska-supported program like Living Well with Diabetes. You'll learn how to manage your symptoms, feel more confident, and reduce stress about your diagnosis. Search Nebraska Living Well with Diabetes and click on the DHHS Healthy Living Programs page to learn more. Paid for by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
New year, new you? Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help make sure you keep that resolution this time. Our proven system combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition, along with our expert coaching to make sure you're moving forward toward your goals. The next 10-week challenge starts January 11th. But if you enroll now, you can start today and get a head start on those gains for no extra cost. Plus, head to fxblincoln.com and you can save $100. Don't wait. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
The Adam Carricker Show.
That is what the 12-team playoff does. It makes the end of the regular season more exciting until we realize, hey, the teams that are 10 through 12 are just going to get killed. So getting in doesn't really matter. All that doesn't matter is Oregon-Ohio State regular season. Matchup doesn't matter. Ohio State-Michigan, that rivalry's now been devalued. And to me, that's what I see.
Live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 1 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Early break.
I need to know what the definition of a chandelier is.
Chandelier?
Yeah. Is the same too?
I think so.
When I think chandelier, I think like an old-timey big light that's fancy, that's bedazzled, basically. It's got fancy looking
of course.
It's not jewelry, but it's got fancy elements
No,
to it.
I know what you mean.
That's a regular nice light
hanging from the ceiling.
Right.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Wait, pause. I need to know, how many games is this again?
100.
100.
100. And even 100.
And Sip. Yeah, bro. Shut up, Sipple. You can't be saying, listen, you know where I go. What's my spot? They tell me down there, they watch the show and they watch Sip, and they told me to tell Sip, stop saying 100. He don't say it like we say it. You say it again how you say it.
100?
100. He says 100.
What's that mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Let's get into some NFL headlines, shall we? 402-464-5685. If your team has fired their head coach, who do you want to replace him? 402-464-5685, or drop a comment on stream. Austin, Strick, and Ellie with you here during On the Block. Stricky, 6 openings so far in the NFL out of the 32 teams right now. The most recent one was just today. The Raiders fire head coach Antonio Pierce. That adds to this list of teams. So with the Raiders, you have the Jets, who fired Robert Saleh mid-season, the Saints, who let go of Dennis Allen, the Bears firing Matt Eberflus, the Patriots firing Gerard Mayo after just one season, and the Jacksonville Jaguars letting go of Doug Peterson. When you look at those 6 teams, Raiders, Jets, Saints, Bears, Patriots, Jaguars, are you surprised any of those jobs are open, or do you think we could have predicted most of them?
Well, they call it... They got nicknames for it, Black Friday, Monday, all kinds of stuff. It's tough. It's tough. I thought, Antonio Pierce really had got an opportunity to win the minds and the hearts of those players in the locker room, but obviously they didn't like the direction that was going. That situation was pulled. The Jets are starting to ramp it up. I think they realize that the situation with Aaron Rodgers experiment is pretty much over, so they're going to probably look to go in another direction. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But a lot of people aren't quite happy about that. I know that they've talked about potentially. I know that they actually had an interview with former Jets coach Rex Ryan, trying to bring him back. Wow, how that pops up out of nowhere there. Patriots situation also is a tough one. It's really a Janet Jackson moment, what it feels like now. Win now or get the heck on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really what it seems like it's coming down to.
But some of these places, Strick, don't have the infrastructure in place to win.
Yeah.
Now, right? You look at the Raiders, right? John Gruden resigns in 2021 after the emails get leaked. Josh McDaniels fired after 2 years, and now Antonio Pierce fired just 2 years after that. You look at a team like the Titans, right? Firing their GM. We have so many of these situations, Strick, where the GM is firing the coach, but then the coach outlasts the GM, and they're not on the same timeline, right? We think about a GM and a coach working together so much. What is our vision for this, or letting the GM pick the head coach that they feel comfortable working with, that they can commit to. We're seeing so much less and less of that in the NFL right now, for the most part, among these teams that are struggling to get out of neutral, that are struggling to get out of the bottom of their division in a league like the NFL that is set up for parity. You get a first place schedule, a tough schedule if you win the division. You get a fourth place schedule if you lose it. But Strick, so many of these organizations, whether it's the Raiders, whether it's the Bears, whether it's the Jets, just to name a few on this list, can't get their poop in a group, and they keep playing fourth place schedules, not able to take advantage of it. At what point do you think that these owners would get tired of the mediocrity, right? They say they are, but they're not actually committing to doing anything to change it. You know?
It's kind of like the Spider-Man meme where everybody's pointing the finger at each other, trying to figure out whose fault is it. And really, sometimes it comes down to, it could come down to some, we don't know, but it could come down to some backstabbing. It could come down to a coach going in, sitting down with an owner and saying, look, I'm not getting what I need.
Or a GM going to an owner first. Either way.
Sometimes, sometimes it's just like what criminals do, and who's first to tell it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Who's first to tell it and then sell it?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a cutthroat business. There's not friends among thieves.
Hey,
not that there's thievery going on, but I'm just saying,
well, it feels like it sometimes.
Yeah, it's a wild dynamic, and I think it's worse in college. I mean, I think it's worse in NFL than it is in college. I really do. I think at the NFL level, it's one of those things where you literally, there's three things I think. One, you can't lose a team. Two, you got to have relationships higher up.
Mm-hmm.
And who's better at circumventing one another? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there used to be what you said, that relationship between the GM and the coaches, and there was really tight relationships and so forth and so on. But now it seemed to be so cutthroat that you don't really have those type of loyalties and relationships in there anymore like you used to. I don't know, Austin.
We're getting a lot of texts here, Strick, about one team and about one coach. The team is the Chicago Bears. We have Ben on the text line saying, doesn't matter who the Bears hire until they change ownership. It'll always be a garbage franchise. You have Brad saying, hopefully the Bears hire Mike McCarthy. They requested an interview with him, the sitting head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Gorilla Bear says, think Vrabel to the Bears would be interesting. Seems to be more of a culture issue rather than a talent issue. And then MT Westy says, if my team had a coaching vacancy, I would like Vrabel. Let's start with the Bears. Would you take that job? Do you like that job? Do you like how it's set up, or are you looking for something else?
I mean, today you want to look and make sure that the quarterback is, Caleb to me is very whiny. And he's not going anywhere anytime soon. He's probably got another. So do you feel within that 2 years that think of some of you guys on here that have kids, and you go into a store and the kid is very whiny and acts super whiny when you have to tell them to put that toy down. Are you capable of handling that? Are you capable of dealing with those type of situations?
Ellie says, no, that's not me.
Are you
Ellie
capable
would cry
of
with
dealing with those? That's the dynamic. Or do you sometimes you'll have a hard-nosed kid where you might tell them something, they'll do it. They're a little bit more disciplined. They handle situations a little bit more better, so they're not in there throwing food all on the table when they're eating at the restaurant. So to me, it's similar to that. That's what you got to look at. What is the makeup of the team? Who are my problem children, potentially? Who am I going to have to overcoddle? Who's going to get me fired?
Bears fan Ben says, I wouldn't want to coach in Chicago. Terrible media, terrible owners, and a quarterback that is Charmin 10 ply soft.
There you go.
So I say that as a Bears fan, but then again, nobody hates the Bears more than Bears fans.
He understands what I'm saying. That's in essence what I'm saying. That's the element you got to look at it nowadays. You got to try to figure that out. Yeah.
So if you don't want to coach the Bears, that's fine. Would you rather coach the Raiders or the Bears?
It's all looking bad. I'd much rather take the Raiders than the Bears.
Would you rather coach the Jaguars or the Raiders?
Jaguars is continuously been a cesspool, even though you got a good quarterback there. I think if you're looking at the Raiders, you've got a build out opportunity in which you've got a draft coming potentially that you may be able to get a quarterback out of that you actually like. But there's where the relationship between the GM has to be there so that we're on the same page and they don't just pull a trigger on you and pull a Squid Game on you.
Right.
Type of move. I binged on that, by the way.
So you're taking the Raiders?
I would take the Raiders.
Okay. Raiders or Patriots?
Definitely Raiders.
Raiders or Jets?
That's because of ownership.
Yeah. Raiders or Jets?
Don't like the market. Still staying with the Raiders. Okay. I think they just have more upside.
Raiders or Saints? The Derek Carr question. Raiders or Saints, Stricky?
That's a tough one. Both kind of in rebuild mode. You've got a quarterback there that I still like the ability to grow what's going on over there. I'd say Raiders.
Interesting. I take the Saints job.
Why?
If you look at these jobs, Stricky, not all of them have a quarterback in place, including the Saints, right? They cycled through some guys. Yeah, Derek Carr in and out down there. Kamara still around, good player, but I trust the ownership of that team more than any of the others. It's a franchise that will give you patience. I mean, Sean Payton was there for 15 years. Dennis Allen maybe got even a little bit more time than other franchises would have given him because he was with the organization for so long. Problem is, you're walking into a really crappy salary cap situation, right? The Saints have just pushed everything back down the line in an effort to win. Now, it hasn't necessarily worked, especially if the next coach isn't a fan of, say, Derek Carr. But if I look at that, probably the simplest path to a division title. There's a history of very high-level success there in New Orleans in the not-too-recent past. And I like the talent on that team. That's number one for me.
Okay.
I wanted to take Jacksonville at number 2, except that Trent Baalke is still there. I don't know how he managed to hang on to his job. Things got toxic with him in San Francisco, and things are getting toxic with him now in Jacksonville. I really like Jacksonville's talent. I really like Jacksonville's division. Guess what? I'm a fan of a different team in that division. Jacksonville, I don't want to call them a sleeping giant because, to your point, they've never really put it all together for more than a year or maybe 2 at a time. But I think there's legit potential in Jacksonville, except I don't like Baalke.
Okay.
Patriots, like you said, culture issues out the wazoo. Jets, if Aaron Rodgers is gone, I like the talent there. Am I willing to deal with New York? We'll see. And even the Bears aren't destitute of talent. Are you sold as Caleb Williams as QB1 of the future, though? I'm not.
That's
right now.
Me neither,
some positive signs, some bad signs. So I would probably, if you made me rank them, I would go Saints, Raiders, Jags, Bears, Patriots, Jets.
Okay.
That's where I'm at with it.
There you go.
So, and then we'll get to the Vrabel conversation maybe tomorrow too. Some of the coaches that stuck around but changed coordinators out the right or wrong move for those teams. We'll do that, but we got to go to break. We'll have a short little crossover brought to you by Love Volleyball Omaha before we get you off to Take Down Tuesdays here on The Ticket.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and we wanted to give a special shout out to all of our great customers, thanking you all for a record-setting year in 2024. Now let's get the new year rolling with some big savings. Right now at Cobble, we have some of the biggest discounts in the area with over $12,000 off list price or 0% APR on select new models. So stop on in the dealership or hit us up online at cobblecars.com to get true low country overhead in action. $12,000 off list or 0% APR right now at Cobble. So please stop on in or visit us at cobblecars.com. You'll be glad you did.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197. Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
New year, new you? Barrel's Extreme Body Shaping can help make sure you keep that resolution this time. Our proven system combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition, along with our expert coaching to make sure you're moving forward toward your goals. The next 10-week challenge starts January 11th, but if you enroll now, you can start today and get a head start on those gains for no extra cost. Plus, head to fxblincoln.com and you can save $100. Don't wait. Barrel's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Having diabetes doesn't have to ruin your new year. Join a Nebraska-supported program like Living Well with Diabetes. You'll learn how to manage your symptoms, feel more confident, and reduce stress about your diagnosis. Search Nebraska Living Well with Diabetes and click on the DHHS Healthy Living Programs page to learn more. Paid for by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food, fuel, shelter, clothing, transportation, and even funeral and medical expenses. If you're a veteran facing a financial emergency, apply for Nebraska Veterans Aid through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
The Adam Carricker Show.
That is what the 12-team playoff does. It makes the end of the regular season more exciting until we realize, hey, the teams that are 10 through 12 are just going to get killed. So getting in doesn't really matter. All that doesn't matter is Oregon-Ohio State regular season. Matchup doesn't matter. Ohio State-Michigan, that rivalry's now been devalued. And to me, that's what I see.
Live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 1 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Just a few minutes left here during On the Block. Our crossover is sponsored by League One. Volleyball Omaha begins their inaugural season January 24th at Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Ralston. Get your tickets online at lovb.com. You can see former Huskers Jordan Larson, Justine Wong-Arantes, Maddie Kubik, Lauren Stivrins, and Lexi Rodriguez in action. Austin Norman, Eric Strickle, and Ellie with you for, again, just a couple minutes here. One last thing on the NFL coaches, Strick. Like every cycle, but even maybe more so this cycle, there's going to be a lot of guys floated out there who would be first-time head coaches, right? A Ben Johnson or an Aaron Glenn. The Lions coordinators come to mind, maybe Bobby Slowick from the Houston Texans. Named those pretty hot last year. Lou Anarumo was looking for a job after the Bengals let him go. But as we just went through those teams, Strick, it'd be so hard for any of those guys whose dream is to be an NFL head coach to tell these teams no, because you only get so many opportunities, so many interviews to be a head coach. But man, if I was a first-time head coach, I would not feel comfortable walking into any of those situations. Which maybe the right move would be to hold off till the next time. Keep building your value as a coordinator and wait till a better opportunity arises. But that's a risky move too.
Yeah. High risk. And what's the reward? That's kind of what it boils down to. And because long gone is the day of accepting the job because it's the job that's available. And I think I've said this to all of us in some ways. Sometimes it's not necessarily the job, it's how it fits for you, how it fits for your mental. What is the mental, like, yeah, all the money changes is different, but if you're miserable and you're only there for you're gonna get some of that guarantee on it, but could you set yourself back?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's why it's important to, it's not necessarily always about the money. Sometimes it's about the fit.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about your mental psyche. So I don't know. I think that dynamic has changed about just taking it just to take it. I think it matters who it is, because there's all these other elements at play that you really need to consider if you want to have a good experience with it. Not only your staff, but just the organization, how it's run. You know what I mean? I could tell you that Pop has probably enjoyed a great tenure because of, not just because they've won championships, but because of how the organization was run, the relationship that was built, so forth and so on. But I could tell you there's probably some other coaches that probably feel some kind of way, i.e. maybe Mike Brown, maybe others, the way that they were treated and the way, that it didn't go well for them. So I don't know.
It's going really well for North Dakota State football and its fans. Stricky, 10 titles in 14 years. They won 5 out of 6. Now they've kind of backslid. They've only won 5 out of the last 8. But how about the Bison last night? Take down number 1 and previously undefeated Montana State, 35-32. What a machine that program is, right? We had a little bit of the think pieces of, what's the decline? They lose some coaches, they lose some players. But in the era of, transfer portal, NIL, Power 4, all of this, North Dakota State says, mind your own business. We're minding ours. We got championships to win. What a moment for that program, that school, to get back on top after 2 years of seeing their biggest rival, South Dakota State, climb the mountain.
Yeah.
And a walk-off punt, no less.
Yeah. Listen, what showed through is their winning pedigree. That's what showed through, and that's what shined through. Is, look, Montana State had some good success, 13-0, but you took on a program that they've been there before as a whole. They've watched the success, they've watched the failures, and they got there again, and they were able to pull it out with a 3-point win, 35-32 in that championship game, 10. I mean, it just goes to show you, man, that when you put something together, even if you happen to leave, it'll be some residue there. There's some of those players that understand what championship pedigrees are, and they go in with that mindset and that mentality. Once we get there, that's going to possibly shine through, and that's what did in this game.
Trey Lance's brother Bryce is a stud. Cam Miller, the quarterback for North Dakota State, really good. And entering the transfer portal today, Montana State's starting left tackle. That's going to be a guy that's certainly going to have some Power 4 offers. No idea if Nebraska will get involved, but hey, if he's good enough to go 15-0 and then 15-1 in the FCS, might be worth a look. Big thanks to Love Volleyball Omaha for the crossover here. Appreciate them. 1 week from today, we'll have some players in studio. Stay tuned for more announcements on that. And a big thanks to Nebco for their sponsorship of the show. Their operations span the state of Nebraska and supply the construction industry with the materials needed to construct buildings, streets, and highways. For Strick and Ellie, I'm Austin. This has been a Tuesday show here on the block. Takedown Tuesday, teammates timeout coming your way over the next couple hours on the ticket. Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system